Talking about inclusiveness, you've written about the manner in which sporting codes shove their version of inclusivity and politics down the throats of clubs and players and fans alike. We see it here all the time with the AFL and the NRL, the local football codes, as well as Cricket Australia. What's the NHL been up to?
The NHL has been the National Hockey League in America had a very curious case recently where one of the teams decided to do what was called Pride Night, where all of the players were meant to don pride jerseys and wrap their hockey sticks in rainbow flag tape. And one of the players, who happens to be a Russian Orthodox belief, said he didn't want to do it, that he was, all for tolerance and everything, but he just, it wasn't part of his belief. And the hatred that he was greeted with in America was quite astonishing. One sports commentator said that he should go back to where he came from, and since there was a war going on there, perhaps he could fight in it. So, as I mentioned in this piece in The Spectator, Rita, we've gone quite a long way, haven't we, in a very short space of time, all the way from you've just got to be tolerant to, if you're not tolerant, go back to where you came from and die in a trench. It's quite a development, I would say, and not for the good. I always do the analogy of, the boot on the other foot. That was always a question for rights movements. When the boot is on the other foot, how do you like it? And there are plenty of people who, in the so-called modern rights movements, turn out to be very, very happy and eager to don the jackboots and crush any opposition they find. And the interesting thing is that sporting organizations are so big on that. And you remember, Rita, back 20, 30, 40, let alone 50 or 60 years ago, when, for instance, gay rights actually was a struggle, where were these sporting organizations then? I don't remember them being anywhere. But once the battle is won, like all new converts, they dive in and become the most extreme of all.
And where the battle is still being fought, they're completely absent. You don't see these leagues in the Middle East pushing their politics and tolerance because, there's a price to pay there. And it's extraordinary, really, isn't it? In a country like America, where it is still a very religious country, that it was one sole Russian who said no. All the others who say they're devout Christians and whose own personal beliefs may be at odds with this activism all fell into line. They all complied.